I thought I was ready for love again. I thought I had healed enough to open the door and let someone new walk in. But the night she showed up with her friend, I had no idea my heart was about to choose someone I never expected. Sometimes, the person you're meant to meet isn't the one you're looking at. Sometimes, love walks in quietly, holding someone else's hand. Before we begin, if you love heartfelt stories about real life, second chances, and the power of kindness, make sure you subscribe to your channel name, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support helps us share more stories that remind the world how powerful simple kindness can be. Now let me tell you what happened. It started on a rainy Thursday evening in Chicago. The kind of night where the sky hangs low and heavy, and everything feels a little slower. I was sitting in a small neighborhood coffee shop, the one with creaky wooden floors and mismatched chairs. It had become my quiet place after my divorce. 6 months earlier, my marriage of 8 years had ended. No big drama. No screaming matches. Just two people who slowly grew apart. I moved into a small apartment on the north side, bought second-hand furniture, and tried to figure out what being alone felt like again. My sister had been nudging me to get back out there. Just meet people, she said. You don't have to marry the next woman you see. So when I matched with Claire on a dating app, I agreed to meet. She seemed nice. Smart. Confident. We exchanged messages for a week before setting a date at that coffee shop. I got there early, nervous in a way I hadn't felt in years. I kept checking my phone, rereading her last message. I might bring a friend, she had written. Hope that's okay. It wasn't what I expected, but I said sure. At exactly 7:05 p.m., the door opened. The bell above it chimed, and in walked Claire, tall, stylish, with a bright red coat. And behind her was another woman, a little shorter, wearing a soft gray sweater and holding an umbrella that was clearly broken. Claire spotted me and waved. They both walked over. Sorry I brought backup, Claire said with a laugh. This is my friend Emma. She didn't want to sit alone while waiting for her ride. Emma smiled shyly. I promise I won't stay long. And that was the moment everything shifted. It wasn't dramatic. No lightning bolt. No music playing in the background. It was just the way Emma's eyes softened when she smiled. The way she held the broken umbrella like it was no big deal. The way she looked slightly embarrassed, but still warm. We ordered coffee. The three of us sat down. Claire did most of the talking. She told stories about her job in marketing, her recent trip to Miami, her yoga classes. I listened politely, asking questions, trying to stay focused. But every few minutes, I found myself glancing at Emma. She didn't interrupt. She didn't try to impress anyone. Instead, she asked the barista how his night was going. She thanked him by name after reading his name tag. When an older man at the next table dropped his napkins, she quietly stood up and helped him pick them up before he could even bend down. No one made a big deal out of it. Not even her. Halfway through the evening, Claire's phone buzzed. Oh good, my ride's here, Emma said quickly, standing up. You sure? Claire asked. Yeah. I don't want to third-wheel your date, Emma replied with a small laugh. She turned to me. It was really nice meeting you. Her handshake was gentle, but steady. And just like that, she was gone. The rest of the date with Claire felt fine. She was attractive. Ambitious. Outgoing. But my mind kept replaying the way Emma had smiled at the barista. When Claire and I said goodbye, she leaned in and said, "Text me." I nodded. But as I walked to my car, I realized I wasn't thinking about texting her. I was wondering if I would ever see her friend again. The next morning, I did something I had never done before. I sent Claire a message. Hey, I had a nice time last night. But I have to be honest. I felt more of a connection with Emma. If that's weird or inappropriate, I completely understand. I just didn't want to pretend. I stared at the message for 10 full minutes before hitting send. Her reply came an hour later. Wow. That's unexpected. But I appreciate the honesty. Emma deserves someone who sees her. I'll ask if she's okay with me giving you her number. My heart pounded. 2 hours later, I received a new text. Hi. This is Emma. Claire told me you wanted my number. I hope that's not a prank. I laughed out loud in my empty apartment. No prank, I replied. Would you maybe want to grab coffee sometime? Just us. She took a while to respond. Okay, she finally wrote. But only if you promise not to bring a friend. Our first real date was simple. No fancy restaurant. Just a walk along Lake Michigan on a cold Saturday morning. She wore the same gray sweater. I wore a jacket that wasn't warm enough. We talked for hours. I learned that Emma worked as a nurse at a community clinic on the south side. She told me she loved her job, even though it was exhausting. She volunteered at a shelter once a month. She helped her elderly neighbor with groceries every Sunday. She didn't talk about these things to impress me. In fact, she seemed almost uncomfortable when I pointed out how kind she was. It's not a big deal, she said, shrugging. People just need help sometimes. That sentence stayed with me. People just need help sometimes. Over the next few months, I saw that kindness in action again and again. One night at a diner, she noticed a young mom struggling to calm a crying toddler. Without hesitation, Emma walked over and offered to hold the baby so the mother could eat. The relief on that woman's face was something I'll never forget. Another time, she found a wallet in a parking lot. Instead of just turning it in, she drove across town to return it to the owner, a college student who looked like he was about to cry with gratitude. Watching her changed me. After my divorce, I had built invisible walls. I kept conversations shallow. I avoided vulnerability. I told myself I was protecting my heart. But Emma didn't protect her kindness. She gave it freely. To strangers. To friends. To me. One evening, as we sat on my couch eating takeout, I asked her something that had been on my mind. Why are you like this? I said softly. She looked confused. Like what? So kind. All the time. She was quiet for a moment. When I was 16, my dad got sick, she said. We didn't have much money. Our neighbors brought food. Drove us to appointments. Sat with my mom when she was too tired to stand. They didn't have to. But they did. She looked down at her hands. I guess I just decided that if I ever had the chance, I'd be that person for someone else. In that moment, I realized I hadn't just fallen for her smile or her laugh. I had fallen for her heart. A year after that rainy Thursday, I took her back to the same coffee shop. The same creaky floors. The same mismatched chairs. I can't believe this is where it started, she said, smiling. Well, I replied, pulling a small box from my pocket, technically, it started because of Claire. She gasped when I got down on one knee. Emma, I said, my voice shaking, you didn't just show me what love looks like. You showed me what kindness looks like. You taught me that helping people isn't weakness, it's strength. You helped me believe in something good again. Will you marry me? Tears filled her eyes. Yes, she whispered. Today, we're married. We still live in Chicago. She still works at the clinic. I started volunteering with her once a month. Our apartment is louder now, especially after we adopted a golden retriever who thinks he owns the place. Sometimes I think about how close I came to missing her. If I had ignored that feeling. If I had pretended. If I had chosen comfort over honesty. Kindness brought her into my life twice. First, in the way she treated strangers. And second, in the grace Claire showed by giving me her number instead of getting angry. That's the thing about kindness. It creates doors. It builds bridges you didn't even know you needed. You never know who's watching. You never know whose heart you're quietly changing. You never know when one small, gentle act will rewrite someone's entire story. So if you're out there feeling unseen, keep being kind. If you're healing from something broken, keep your heart open. And if love ever shows up holding someone else's hand, don't be afraid to look twice. Because sometimes, the one you're meant to fall for isn't the one who walked in first. It's the one who quietly helped someone pick up their napkins. And maybe, just maybe, your simple act of kindness today will be the beginning of someone else's forever. Spread kindness. You never know whose life, or whose heart, you might change.